Two Boston police officers were shot overnight.
A gang member who shot and killed two California officers will get his day in court today.
And technology is expanding right here in mid-Missouri. How you can get in the business. Good morning. It's Thursday, October 13th, 2016. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Megan Judy.
And I'm Monica Harkins.
And I'm Tim Schmidt.
Thanks for waking up in general.
Yeah, great job.
Right,
I'm glad you
it.
made it. And you're here with us today. And it looks like it's cold outside. I mean, cold. It's cold enough to where you didn't want to get out of bed this morning.
Yep.
Didn't want to peel those sheets away. And you're probably going to want not just a light jacket, probably the heavy jacket this morning, because some of those temperatures over northern Missouri are in the lower 30s, 35 up in Chillicothe, 36 in Macon. It is very chilly right now, 43 in Columbia. And then once you factor in that wind, well, it's even colder than that. We actually have a wind chill this morning, too. Those are in the lower 30s. Clouds continue to clear out this morning. It looks mostly clear over northern Missouri. Still a few of those little clouds hanging around southern Missouri. The temperature track, we're back up into the upper 50s to near 60. It's a struggle to reach those temperatures this afternoon. Looks like we have a big warm up in store, though, by the weekend. We'll talk about your weekend forecast coming up here in a little bit.
All right, Tim, thanks.
While you were sleeping, two Boston police officers were shot and wounded while responding to a report of a person with a gun.
Police Commissioner William Evans says he thinks it was a domestic incident gone wrong. The police confirmed the suspect is dead. One officer was shot multiple times and is currently in critical condition. The other officer is in stable condition.
10 people are now in custody after demonstrators stormed City Hall in Portland. The demonstrators were trying to stop the city council from voting on a new police contract that includes more pay for officers and raised questions about the use of body cameras. The commissioners voted in favor of the new contract, which led to more protests. Another protest is planned for Friday.
A gang member who prosecutors say targeted, ambushed, and killed two Palm Springs police officers is scheduled to appear in court today. John Hernandez Felix faces first-degree murder and other charges. Prosecutors say the crime was premeditated and meticulously planned. Prosecutors will decide this month whether to seek the death penalty. A 22-year-old Syrian man arrested in Germany for a suspected Islamic extremist bomb plot killed himself in a prison cell. The Saxony State Justice Ministry spokesperson said in a news conference this morning that Jabba al-Bak killed himself sometime Wednesday evening. A hearse was seen leaving the prison, and the incident is still being investigated.
St. Louis County Police are investigating after a body was found behind a church last night. Police said the body was found by lawn care workers near Lutheran Church of the Living Christ in North County. The Bureau of Crimes Against Persons is investigating, and an autopsy is scheduled for today. A U.S. Department of Justice report found evidence of bias on the San Francisco police force. San Francisco police use more force and pull over more blacks than any other racial group. The review was conducted at the request of city officials following protests over the fatal shooting of a black man, Mario Woods. The report makes 272 recommendations to help the department improve policies and practices.
Missouri Supreme Court scheduled an execution for a man convicted of killing 3 people. Mark Christensen killed Susan Broke, her 12-year-old daughter and 9-year-old son in their home in 1998. Christensen's execution date is set for January 31st. It's the only execution scheduled in Missouri, with the last being in May, and those murders happened in Marys County. According to the Columbia Daily Tribune, the president of Ohio University is being vetted for president of the University of Missouri. This information comes from a professor at Ohio University. Roderick McDavis was the first black president of OU. He's been the president since '04 and will be leaving his position at the end of June. When McDavis announced his plans to leave, he said he intended to find other employment.
Some new tech companies in mid-Missouri will receive thousands of dollars in funding. KMU8's Chris Green is live in Columbia to tell us more about how the Missouri Innovation Center supports startups in the area.
4 new tech companies are the first to partner with the Missouri Innovation Center through the Mid-Mo Tech Accelerator. Those companies will get $25,000 to $50,000, a space here at the MU Life Science Business Incubator and Counseling from the MIC. The center held a launch event last night to announce the 4 companies. The companies include a transcription tool for journalists, a precision agriculture company, an esports company, and an advertising company. The MIC president says the accelerator is a way to keep those companies in business in mid-Missouri.
In the past, those companies had nowhere to go. There was no way to get money, and so most of those companies either moved out of town or they just quit.
The accelerator program has enough money for 30 businesses. Turpin says he believes they'll have no problem finding those here in mid-Missouri. Reporting live in Columbia, Chris Green, KOMU 8 News.
Minnesota's governor is trying to make steps to improve relations between communities and law enforcement. How the governor plans to get them on one accord.
Will Columbia be getting more wheelchair-accessible taxis? Stay tuned to hear how the city is looking into certain grants today.
Your time is 4:35 on this Thursday morning. You're looking live over downtown Columbia. We'll be back with your weather after the break.
Live Doppler 8 First Alert weather.
All right, welcome back. It's 4:38 on our Thursday morning and a live look over the Columbia area. And it's brought to you by your Heart of Missouri Chevy dealers. Very cool temperatures. These temperatures compared to yesterday, almost 20 to 30 degrees colder than yesterday at this hour. Right now we're sitting at 43 in Columbia, 40 in Mexico, 47 in Jefferson City, and 48 down at the Ozarks. But you go up north and nowhere close to those 40s. We're well back into the lower and middle 30s, and it certainly feels like it once you combine that wind chill in there too. Right now it feels like we're anywhere from about 35 or 30 to 35 up that way with a little bit of a north breeze. Your temperature track this morning has us falling down, at least for Columbia, maybe down to about the 38 to 40 degree mark. I think more of the rural areas will be in the 30s. More urban areas will get that heat island effect and will stay near 40 degrees. All of us get back to about 60 to 61 though this afternoon. Should be a mild day for us. We do have frost advisories, that is, though, over parts of northern Missouri for you folks up in Macon, Howard, Sheraton, and even Saline counties and Randolph County too. Excuse me, not Howard County, but that's until 10 o'clock this morning as the temperature is expected to get pretty close to the freezing mark up that way, if not anywhere from 30 to 35 with those kind of wet bulb temperatures, and that's the temperature that we look at to try to figure out if it's going to frost or not. And that's mainly due to that open sky expected up that way, and that's where clouds have really thinned on out. It's all as a high pressure system continues to really roll over parts of the Midwest. It's up over Parts of Sioux City at this time is bringing in those north to northeasterly winds. That cold front that moved through yesterday well to our south. All the rain stays to our south today too. Here's a look at our precipcast this morning. Open skies, lots of sunshine into the afternoon by 3:30. Then into tomorrow morning, well, it looks like more of those clouds return back with us. Maybe a few little isolated showers over the Ozarks. Most of that rain, again, is going to stay well to our south. We'll just hold on to a partly sunny sky into the afternoon by 5, 6, and then even into the 7 o'clock hour by Friday evening. Looks like just cloudier skies. And I think that we stay dry and actually a little bit warmer too. The temperature trends warm into the weekend. Here's a look at our forecast this morning. Chilly outside. Most of us will be in the 30s this morning over northern Missouri. If you live in southern Missouri, I think that the temperature is still going to hold probably in the 40s due to most of that cloud cover. We'll all get back up to 61 this afternoon. Here's a look at your 3-day forecast. Friday does look still cool outside with temperatures up near 68 degrees, partly to mostly cloudy skies. And then Saturday rolls around. We're back into the 80s. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour throughout the weekend. It's going to help get us up there. Maybe an isolated little chance out west for some showers on Saturday evening. Otherwise, the rain holds off until probably Wednesday of next week. That's all with a big upper level system that right now looks to cool us off out from the 80s. A big stretch of 80-degree weather from Saturday till about Wednesday of this upcoming week, and then it looks like we'll start to cool the temperatures to maybe a more fall-like feel by the later part of next week.
Get a little taste of fall, and they're going to snatch it away.
We're getting that taste right now. It is chilly outside.
Yeah.
You'll step out and you'll notice it. I actually opened up a window last night, and you could just feel the rush of cold air.
You didn't sleep with it open.
Oh yeah.
Crazy, Tim.
I'd be chilled. Nose would be dripping.
You'd be chilled, huh?
Thank you, Tim. Syrian opposition activists are reporting more than a dozen airstrikes on rebel-held parts of Aleppo. The airstrikes today come a day after an air raid killed at least 15 people and leveling buildings. At least 358 civilians have been killed in eastern Aleppo since a U.S. and Russian brokered truce collapsed on September 19th. The UN says more than 100 children have been killed since then.
What kind of transportation is available in Columbia for people who use wheelchairs? KMU8's Shelley Hagan is live in Columbia to tell us the changes people in wheelchairs face when it comes to getting around the city by car.
Columbia only has one wheelchair-accessible taxi service, and that's not enough, according to the Disabilities Commission. The commission will have a meeting today to discuss possible grants to help taxi services purchase accessible vehicles. JJ's Taxi Service owns the only accessible van in town. Chuck Graham, the chair of the Disability Commission, said his group reached out to the taxi community for comment.
We've not gotten a whole lot of feedback, but we're still going to move forward with recommending to the city that they provide 2 grants a year for cab companies to apply for to be able to purchase accessible vehicles.
JJ's taxi owner will speak at the 3 p.m. meeting today to discuss the challenges of operating and maintaining an accessible vehicle. Reporting live from Columbia, Shelley Hagan, KOMU8 News.
A leading Catholic advocacy group is calling for the resignation of Hillary Clinton's campaign spokeswoman, Jennifer Palmieri. This after hacked emails show her and other Clinton allies openly talking about Catholics being, quote, severely backwards and charging that they don't know what they're talking about, end quote. The president of Catholic Vote says the Clinton campaign has questioned the sincerity of Catholic Americans' faith, and Clinton's aide must resign immediately or be fired.
Minnesota's governor has established a task force dedicated to improving relations between communities and law enforcement officers. The governor's council will be made up of 32 people. 11 are representatives from law enforcement. Others include community activists and relatives of Jamar Clark and Philando Castile. Both were black men who were shot and killed by police.
You know, the community that I come from, there's a lot of people who are living in fear, and I want that fear to go away. I want people to be able to feel like they can live in their communities and be part of their communities and have a voice.
Minnesota's governor says Castile and Clark's death were the catalyst for him to create the council. A recreation of the day Winston Churchill gave the famous Iron Curtain speech will be held at Westminster College today in honor of the Right Honorable Lord Alan Watson of Richmond and Churchill's granddaughter Edwina Sandys. Lord Watson will formally open a new museum exhibit called Sinews of Peace and the Power of Prose at 2 today. The exhibit will focus on Churchill's famous speeches.
Columbia's Parking and Management Task Force could have new solutions for downtown parking problems. The force is making 3 suggestions to bring to the Planning and Zoning Commission. The first is to maintain the 25% parking requirement for housing developments downtown. That means for every apartment, there has to be 1 parking spot for every 4th bedroom. The second is to not proceed with fees in lieu of parking spaces, which would have allowed businesses to rent or buy existing parking spots. The force will also recommend creating a permanent parking commission to deal with the ongoing changes with downtown parking.
And then we should hand these decisions over to a permanent body who can take the time to learn the issues in depth and stay engaged in this issue over time and build up some expertise on the subject matters.
The task force will present the recommendations to the Planning and Zoning Commission later this month. The Missouri Tech Expo, that's today. Those who attend can learn about the big thing in technology and network with investors and entrepreneurs. The expo is open to the public, starts at 8 this morning. Admission is $40. Drones seem to be becoming an absolute everyday sighting.
But how would you feel about one inside you? That's what one scientist is trying to achieve.
The dog days of summer might be over, but one business isn't having any of that. How it's changing the way you think of bringing your kid to work day.
Welcome back. Here's a check of our weather on your 8s. If this doesn't convince you to grab a jacket out the door, I'm not sure what will, because temperatures compared to yesterday morning, nearly 20 to 30 degrees colder than yesterday morning's temperatures. It's all thanks to a cold front that moved through up in Kirksville, yeah, 30 degrees colder right now, and those temperatures up that way are in the 30s. It's 36 in Macon, 39 in Moberly, Brunswick, you're at 38, Chillicothe 35, and then once you go into the southern part of the state, we're still holding in the middle and upper 40s in some areas too, mainly due to cloud cover, and some of those north winds really just haven't taken a hold yet either. Right now those winds straight up out of the north, 5 miles per hour in Columbia, down to West Plains and Springfield, it's at 12 to 13. We'll keep that north to northeast breeze throughout the afternoon. Even with sunshine, the temperatures struggle to warm to 61. Then get ready for a big warm up here into the weekend. Crazy how this happens. 68 tomorrow with a mostly cloudy sky. And then we're up to 82 by Saturday with an evening chance for rain. We'll carry those temperatures in the 80s for much of next week.
Wells Fargo CEO John Stumpf announced he's retiring from the company, and Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren, she is not holding back her thoughts. She says Stumpf needed to do more in the wake of a sales scandal in which 2 million accounts were opened without customer authorization. Warren tweeted she'd like to see him return every nickel he made and that he's still not taking real accountability. Two groups want to use drones to fight the Zika virus. Funding from the federal government will go to help them develop drones that could drop off Zika-fighting mosquitoes or lab samples to remote regions. The drones would be able to carry sterile mosquitoes into hard-to-reach zones, which could greatly reduce the Zika-infected mosquito population.
Routine run-of-the-mill advancements in medical technology often involve new medicines or surgical equipment.
One engineer in Pennsylvania is working on a development that sounds a little more exciting, though. NBC's John Delano reports.
We're all familiar with these kinds of personal drones up in the sky, but how about a little tiny drone inside your body?
We're going to make a really tiny swimmer that actually navigate the inside of the human body.
Through the bloodstream.
Bloodstream or in any body fluid inside the body.
Dr. Sung Kwon Cho at the University of Pittsburgh's Swanson School of Engineering has just received a nearly $750,000 grant from the National Science Foundation to develop that technology. Besides more precise bioimaging, the swimmer drone can also deliver a drug to a specific target, like a cancer or tumor.
Sometimes you need to deliver the drug to some specific target. It's not in the entire body. So basically this drone can carry the drug and then only just release in the targeted area.
So how big is this drone? About 1 millimeter and the width of a hair. The goal is to inject the drone into the bloodstream and then navigate it through the body with different frequency of sound waves.
We give sound waves basically power. We just give the ultrasound from outside. That's actually the power source.
So what happens to the drone after it does its job?
We are eventually making this drone as biodegradable. So once you use it, and then it basically automatically dissolve it. So you don't have to open your body and you don't have to take it out.
A drone that dissolves inside your body.
Wow. While the new technology is exciting, it's still in development and needs government approvals. It'll likely be you won't see the drones until after 2020.
A new study finds small business owners are the most vulnerable to cyber attacks. According to Nationwide Small Business Indicator survey, 78% of small business owners don't have a cyber attack response plan. 45% of small business owners who don't have a cyber attack response plan in place so they don't feel their company will be hacked. Every day is a dog's day, at least at electronics giant Crutchfield's corporate headquarters.
That's because the company's unique way of making the workplace feel at home is pretty special. NBC's Spencer Burke has the story.
Do you want to go to Crutchfield? Do you love going to Crutchfield?
A rough day at the office takes on a whole new meaning.
Do you like people? You love people, don't you?
When your furry companion is right by your side.
Brooke, look.
Bringing your dog to work is the norm at Crutchfield corporate headquarters.
Sit. High five. Good girl.
And a wonderful place for the dogs to run around in the newly built pet park out back.
We love our employees, and we do everything we can to make this a wonderful place to work.
Believe it or not all employees were fond at first of the company's dog-friendly policy.
Just the concept was sort of non-business-like to me, right?
Chris Lilly's now a changed man.
This is fantastic.
She's got her little space there. She used to sit on the couch, but couch is for people. Her bed is for her.
No need to ask some of the dogs' names. Their Crutchfield ID badges will tell you that. We're told the pets even attend meetings. Having them at work helps to boost morale.
If you're a dog lover and just seeing dogs makes you happy.
Yes, good boy.
Crutchfield also offers its employees the chance to buy pet insurance at a discount.
Janet Jackson has confirmed she's pregnant. She is 50 years old. In April, Jackson said she was postponing her tour to focus on planning a family with her husband.
Several tech startups in mid-Missouri have a new resource for funding and counseling. I'll tell you more about the Missouri Innovation Center's Mid-Mo Tech Accelerator.
Thanks for waking up with us. You're watching KMU8 News Today, and you're taking a live look over Columbia Regional Airport. We'll be right back.